Welcome to Multicultural Musings. As part of my preoccupation with the Moon and the Dear Moon project to send civilians into space in 2023, I have been looking to see what other nations see in the Moon, and it's fascinating to see some common threads from different corners of the globe. In both Africa and Europe, the people see a person carrying sticks, and amongst many African tribes it can be a man or woman. The Tswana people of South Africa in particular say that the image is a woman carrying a child. She was caught gathering sticks when she should have been at a sacred festival. Now, I find it very interesting because the nations speaking Germanic languages have a similar story centered around a man and sticks. The story goes that a man was gathering sticks on a Sunday when he should have been in church. God himself appeared to him dressed as a man on his way to church and asked why he was not respecting the Sabbath and resting. The man replied, "Sunday on earth, Monday, as in moon day, in heaven, who cares, and why should you care?" And God replied to him, "You shall carry a heavy burden forevermore, and because you do not value Sunday, you can have eternal moon days on the moon, where you can be seen forever as a warning to those who do not respect the Sabbath." It's easy to go from the concept of a man carrying sticks on the moon to just being the man in the moon. Many Western nations see the man in the moon, and there are some simple, more complicated renderings on what the man in the moon looks like, but it doesn't require much imagination to see him. A more modern Western concept is the woman in the moon, wearing a jeweled pendant. As you can see, her pendant is a huge crater that's clearly visible on the moon. In China, Japan, and Korea, they all see a rabbit or hare in the moon. You can see the two long pointed areas that fit well with a rabbit's ears. In folklore, the rabbit is seen as pounding something with a mortar and pestle. In Chinese folklore, the rabbit is a companion of the moon goddess, Chang'e, and is pounding the elixir of life. But in Japanese or Korean culture, the rabbit is pounding ingredients for mochi or rice cakes. Now, interestingly enough, on the other side of the world, a number of pre-Columbian Mesoamerican cultures like the Aztecs also saw a rabbit in the moon. In the central Mexican non-Mayan cultures, the story goes that the sun and the moon were created at the same time. Two gods threw themselves into the fires of creation and turned into two suns. But the gods that had gathered for this great event threw a rabbit into the face of one of the sun gods, dimming his brilliance and turning him into the moon. Those perfect little rabbit ears can easily be morphed and imagined as a crocodile jaw. And that is what the people of Gambia see in the moon. The South Sea Islanders see a crab in the moon, and a Maori legend in New Zealand has it that there was a woman called Rona with a calabash and the nyao tree up in the moon. The story goes that the woman was wandering in darkness to collect water in her calabash when she heard her feet stumbling over stones and tree roots. She began to swear and abuse the moon, which was behind the clouds. But the moon goddess heard and reached down and caught the woman, lifting her up. Rona grabbed onto the top of the nyao tree to save herself, but the roots gave way. Rona was placed on the moon with her calabash and the nyao tree as a reminder to all not to mock the divinities. And finally, a toad is also seen in the moon by the Chinese Taoists, the Machiguenga of Peru, and the Kimbundu tribe of Angola. Now it's time to give a big shout out to Ian Sanders for his fabulous website, ianslunarpages.org. Ian created the website 25 years ago when the internet was still very simple, so don't expect a fancy website, but there's so much marvelous information there that's all moon related. That's all for today. Farewell, Zaitien, Hamagashli.